So this is a walkthrough how to use a Casio graphic display calculator to solve quadratic equations, and it's a walkthrough. If you're using a Casio Scientific, it works very much the same way as the Casio graphic display calculator I'm using. If you're watching this on YouTube, scan the QR code there, or type in the shortened URL and it will take you to this Jamboard and you'll see what I'm writing on. So when a quadratic is factorized in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, if we equate that to 0, we can use the quadratic formula. A is the coefficient of x squared, which appears here and here in the formula. B is the coefficient of x, which appears here and here in the formula. And then C is a constant, which just appears once there in the formula. As I go through, I will color code them to make it easier. So here's the first question. Notice how A is 1, but we don't write 1 as a coefficient. Okay. When I'm doing my calculations, even though I'm multiplying by 1, I still write it in my calculator, because if I want to change it to another number, it makes it much easier. 4 is B, which appears here and here. And C is 3, which appears here in the formula, only once. Okay. So in the calculator, this is how I enter that. Now you might see here there's a symbol which in the formula is plus or minus. I can't do that in the calculator. So what I do is I do the plus and then I do the takeaway. So it's going to give me two different solutions. So my first solution is -1. Then all I need to do to get the second solution, I just need to change one key. I'm going to change that to takeaway. It's important to use the takeaway, okay, not the negative number, because that's not an operation that won't work. Okay, my other solution is x is equal to -3. Note, this works even on this one here, which can be factorized. So two numbers that multiply to make 3 and add to make 4. So 3 is prime, so those numbers can only be 1 and 3. Okay, and then if you were to do it that way, x plus 1 equals 0, giving a solution of -1, or x plus 3 equals 0, giving the other solution of x equals -3. So here, A is 1, which is here and here. B is -7, which is here and here. And C is 11, which is just here. Now, on the calculator here, I'm going to leave it like this and then just change the numbers I need to change. So instead of -4, I'm going to write minus, and then in brackets minus 7. Now that actually itself is just 7 on its own. That makes it a little bit easier. And then this is minus 7 squared. It's very important I put this in brackets, because minus 7 squared is actually 49. 4 is part of the formula, so that doesn't change. In this case, A is 1 again, so I need to change that. And C is 11. Okay, and on the bottom I don't need to change anything. Now I've just realized I've made a mistake. In between here I need a plus. Okay, so I'm going to do the plus one first. Okay, so that gives me my first solution. So I'm going to write that down as x equals 4.62. Then all I need to do is go up and change one thing here, and that's to change that to a takeaway, not the minus, remember? Okay. And that gives me the other solution, which is x equals 2.38. If I just leave that there, that's what I typed in the calculator. The only difference is I have to change the plus and the minus to get the other ones. Next one, back to the calculator, start at the beginning, and here we first deal with b, and b is minus 2, so it's going to change from minus 7 to minus 2, to change it there as well. For AC, I'm just going to go back and change this because I do the plus one first. And A here is not 1, it's 3. And C is minus 1. So on the bottom there, I've got 3. And you can see, but my calculator shows the calculation I need, which is already on the screen. And that gives me the first solution. Okay. So my first solution, x equals 1. And then all I need to do is go back up, change that add to a takeaway, do the question again. X is equal to minus 1 over 3. Now, as both solutions here are rational, i.e. they can be written as fractions, this could be solved by factorizing. Okay. I'm just going to put a screenshot of that on the page. Okay. So next one, A is minus 2, B is 10, C is minus 6. Keep the same structure, and I just change certain things. So B here is 10, but it's plus 10. So I'm going to get rid of all the minuses, apart from the first one, is changes the sign, it's minus B. I do the plus first, and then B appears here again. Now if I put this in brackets, it's not going to give me the wrong answer. A here is minus 2 instead of 3, minus 2, and C is -6. And A, I just need to change to -2. So there's my first solution. You can round that to whatever you want to. And then the second one, all I need to do here, change that to a takeaway. Run it again. And then I'm going to round that as well. So that's going to be, so one solution is there, which I haven't rounded, and then the other solution, which I'm rounding from the screen now, 4.30. Okay. Now you may want to stop at this point. This is an extension, and it's not on the iGCSE course. But if you're interested, keep going. So here we have A is equal to 1. First I need B, so I'm going to change that to 3. I'm also going to leave the brackets there. I do the +1 first. So B squared is 3 squared minus 4. And A here is just 1, so I'm going to delete. I'm still going to put times 1. It's easier to change if I do it again. And then C in this case is +7. And on the bottom, we've got 2 times 1. Now, you'll notice here that there is an I in this answer. What that means is this has a solution, but it's not real. And as I said in this course, we don't deal with numbers which are not real. So I'll quickly explain that. It's to do with the square root. So it's this part of the quadratic formula. Which I've evaluated down here. So if I take the square root, or if I even don't take the square root, if I do this, 3 squared minus 4 times 1 times 7. Okay, so I'm trying to take the square root of -19. Now your calculator may not show that, but that's not a real number. So if it's not a real number, then it gives us a solution we don't have to worry about. So you'll never have to deal with a case like this in this course. And then this one, if you want to do this on your own, I've just made it a bit more confusing. A is not always the first number. B is not always the second number. They can be mixed up. So A here is equal to 1, B is 9, C is 7. So if you solve this one, you would get the two solutions. If you work that out, you get x is equal to minus 0.859 or minus 8.14. Okay, so just a bit, they're not always written in that order. Mostly are, but not always.